Hey, and welcome back. This is Keith here again. In this video, I want to show you how to download and install GIT. That's GIT. It's a version control system that you can use to manage your files and folders. It's easy to collaborate and work as a team. It gives you many, many things that help you with everything I'm trying to do with this video is workflow. So it's something that I don't use very often now, except for really personal use. But I mean, there's a lot of jobs that where you have to work with 5 or 6 people in a team, and you will utilize it quite a bit. So, but we're actually going to use it for one of its tools. It comes with a command line called git bash. It is a Linux based command line, and it works very well with um, NVDA. So I don't know if I said it, but this will be the third video to the series, programming with a screen reader using Python. The um, like I said in the last video, we installed the screen reader and got NVDA up and running. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. And I want to make it real quick. I'm going to download it with you, and then I'm going to show you how to get it up and running and make sure it's good to go. And then in the next video, we will be installing Python. So um, let's see, I want to make sure I get everything before we, so that should be everything. So let's go ahead and get started now. Um, I've got the link right here. I will provide it in the description below. Let me get over here to it. One more thing to note is from now on in each video, I'll have my screen reader turned off until it's necessary to have it on. So once I start writing on the command line or we actually start typing up code, I'll make sure to have it on so you can get that feedback. So let me get the link, open it up in Google Chrome. Alright, I'm going to paste it in, hit enter. Alright, it takes me straight to the page. So if I go to the top of my page, hit and go to the first heading, and it says downloads. If I tab from there, the first thing I hear is Mac OS X. So I'm in the list of operating systems you can download this for. So I'm gonna hit tab again. I hear Windows, so I'm gonna hit Windows, hit enter on this. Alright, it immediately starts downloading, so it's pretty big. Let me let that finish. I believe it said 53 MB. Alright, it says it's I apologize for my throat. I don't know what's going on. It's not being nice to me lately. Let's see here. We're gonna get our downloads folder. Alright, so now I'm going to unmute my desktop audio. That way so you can hear the process from here.
Box checked. Space. Not checked.
Alright, you should be able to hear the screen reader now.
File Explorer window. Items view list. Frequent folders left. Desktop check row 1 column 1 of 31. D. Downloads check row.
So we're gonna go to
Downloads.
downloads.
End the line March 1st. Git-2.25.
And then we hear
Git-2.25.1-60.
Git 2.25. We're gonna hit
Window
enter
dialog.
on that.
Unknown. Window. Store experience host window. Working progress bar. The AppUtic retrying to install
Alright, so it
ISN
always checks the store, tells me it's not there, and then I just
main landmark install
hit
anyway button.
tab and hit install anyway.
Downloads window. Items view list. Today grouping expanded. Git-2.25.1-64-bit left. Git 2.25. Secure desktop.
Alright, so I'm gonna hit Alt Y on this for yes.
Git 2.25.1 setup window. Git 2.25.1 setup unavailable. Git 2.25.1 setup dialog information. Please read the following important information before continuing. Next greater button Alt plus N.
Alright, so it puts me in here and puts me on the next button. Wants me to read some information. It's usually just the licenses and stuff like that.
Cancel button. Next greater button. To continue, comma, click next dot. If you would like to select a different folder, comma, click browse dot. Edit.
All right.
Selected C:\program files /git.
All right, so that will be the default location. I'm gonna leave it there. It's up to you, your preference, if you want to move it or not. I always find that I just let it go where it chooses as far as default, and as long as it makes sense.
Browse dot dot dot. Less back button alt plus. Next greater button alt plus.
We're gonna
Folder
go
exists dialog. The
next.
folder C:\program files /git already exists dot. Would you like to install to that folder anyway? Question. Yes button alt plus
All
Y.
right, so I've had Git installed prior to this, so I uninstalled it to make sure I could walk through the process with you guys. But it says that it's already there, so I'm just going to override it.
Top. Yes. Git 2.25.1 setup dialog. Select components. Which components should be installed? Question. Current selection requires at least 249.8 megabytes of disk space. Dot. Select the components you want to install. Clear the components you do not want to install. Dot. Click next when you are ready to continue.
So it's
dot.
going to let me choose my components here. So
Less back button alt plus B. Select the components you want to install.
I'm going to arrow through this.
Additional icons checkbox selected not checked. On the disk, additional icons checkbox selected not checked.
So additional icons, I'm going to check that.
Space. On the desktop checkbox selected checked.
I want it on the desktop.
Windows Explorer integration checkbox selected checked.
Windows Explorer integration, you definitely want that.
Git bash here checkbox selected checked.
Yes, you want Git bash.
Git GUI. Associate.git star configuration. Use a true type font. Check daily for Git for Windows update. Use associate.sh files to be run with bash check. Associate.git star configure. Git LFS left paren. Git GUI here checkbox selected checked. Git bash here. Git LFS left paren. Large file support right paren. Checkbox selected checked.
We're going to leave the large file.
Associate.git star configuration files with the default text editor checkbox selected checked.
Yep.
Associate.sh files to be run with bash checkbox selected checked. Use a true type font in all console windows checkbox selected not checked.
All right, I'm not going to use the true type.
Check daily for Git for Windows updates checkbox selected not checked.
You can choose to check for updates daily. Usually it depends on your preference, you know. If you want it automatically checked, that's fine, or you could check yourself weekly or however you like. So that is the last option, so I'm going to hit tab from here
Next greater button alt plus N.
to get to next.
To continue, comma, click next dot. If you would like to select a different folder, comma, click browse dot. Edit. Selected Git.
Okay, so I'm gonna read the title just to make sure I know what we're looking at.
Git 2.25.1 setup dialog. Select start menu folder. Where should setup place the program to cast shortcuts?
Okay,
Question.
so start menu folder. So what this does is it creates a start menu folder, and I'll show you how to get to that. And it is all of the tools that come with Git in one place. So I'm gonna leave it as this.
Browse dot dot dot. Don't create a start menu folder. Less back button alt plus B. Next greater button alt plus A. Combo box use vim left paren. The ubiquitous text editor right paren. As Git to cast default editor collapsed.
All right, so we're going to use Git default editor. So I have Visual Studio Code installed, and that's what we're going to make it.
Less back button alt plus. Combo box. Use Notepad plus plus as Git. Use Visual Studio Code as Git to cast default editor.
All right.
Less back button alt plus. Next greater button alt plus A. Git from the command line and also from the dash party software radio button checked.
So I'm going to read the title.
Git 2.25.1 setup dialog. Adjusting your path environment. How would you like to use Git from the command line? Question.
All right, path environment. How would I like to use it from the command line? So
use Git from Git bash only radio button checked. Use Git and optional Unix tools from the command prompt radio button checked.
So from the command prompt.
Git from the command line and also from the dash party software radio button checked.
Third dash party software.
Use Git from Git bash only radio button checked. Git from the command line and also from the dash party software radio button checked.
This is just wondering where we can initiate Git. So we can do it from Git bash only, which is the command line that comes with it, or we can choose to do it in other places as well, like PowerShell or command prompt or any other command line tool we might want to download.
Use Git and optional Unix tools from the command prompt. Git from the command line and also from the dash party software radio button checked.
So I'm gonna do Git from the command line and also third party tools.
Use the OpenSSL library radio button checked. Use the native Windows Secure Channel library radio button checked. Use the OpenSSL library radio button checked.
So we're going to use
the native Windows Secure Channel library. Use the native Windows Secure Channel library radio button checked. Use the OpenSSL library radio button checked. Less back button alt plus B. Use the Open Git 2.25.1 setup dialog. Choosing HTTPS transport backend. Which SSL/TLS library would you like Git to use for HTTPS connections? Question. Choosing HTTPS transport backend. Which SSL/TLS library would you like Git to use for HTTPS connections? Question. Use the native Windows Secure Channel library radio button not checked. Use the OpenSSL library radio button checked. Use the OpenSSL library radio. Use the native Windows Secure.
I'll tell you what, if this needs to be different, we'll come back and change it in the settings after we get it installed if necessary.
Less back button alt plus B. Next greater button alt plus A. Check out Windows dash style comma. Commit Unix dash style line endings radio button checked. Checkout as dashes, comma. Commit as dashes radio button checked. Checkout as dashes, comma. Commit Unix dash. Checkout Windows dash style, comma. Commit Unix dash style. Checkout as dashes, comma. Checkout Windows dash style, comma. Commit Unix dash style line and less back button alt plus next greater button. Use min tty left paren. The default terminal of MSYS2 right paren. Radio button checked. Use Windows tick default console window radio button checked. Use min tty left paren. The default terminal of MSYS2 right paren. Radio button checked.
All right, some of this stuff I don't even know. I mean, this is specific. So
Git 2.25.1 setup dialog configuring the terminal emulator to use with Git bash with.
So terminal emulator. So this is what I would use if I was using some type of program, especially a language like C# or something, or an app development like Swift, and I wanted to look at my app inside of an emulator. So it would emulate an app running on a cell phone. So we're going to
use Windows tick default console window radio button checked.
We're just going to do the default.
Less back button alt plus next greater button. Enable file system caching checkbox checked.
File system caching, yeah.
Enable Git credential manager checkbox checked.
Yes.
Enable symbolic links checkbox not checked.
Symbolic links, that's up to you, but I don't.
Enable file system caching checkbox checked. Enable symbolic less back button alt plus install button alt plus I.
All right, so now we've reached the install button. I'm gonna hit enter on
Next
that.
greater. Cancel button. 0%. 10%.
NVDA beeps whenever it's loading. The closer it gets, the faster and louder.
20%. 30%. 40%. 50%. 60%. 70%. 80%.
Waiting on it to finish. It takes a little bit of time depending on the system you're on.
90%.
Let's see.
100%. Unavailable.
All right. So it's finished. Let's
Git
see.
2.25.1 setup. Top. Cancel. Downloads win. Git 2.25.1 setup dialog installing. Please wait while setup installs Git on your computer. Setup has finished installing Git on your computer. The application may be launched by selecting the installed shortcuts. Click finish to exit setup.
Okay, so we can finish now.
View release notes. Next greater button alt plus. Setup has finished install. View release notes. Next greater button. Git 2.25.1 setup unavailable. Release notes.html Google Chrome.
All right, that's the release notes.
List with 5 items. Link homepage.
I'm gonna get out of this.
Unknown.
Because
Downloads win.
our next step
Downloads
is to make sure that it installed. So I'm gonna show you that folder that it created in the start menu. So if you hit your Windows key.
Start window.
And hit tab.
Start list.
Hit tab again.
All apps list. Recent.
You hear all apps. You can hit G.
G grouping. Games folder, comma.
All right, I'm a down arrow from here.
Git help. Ghost script folder, Git folder, comma. New comma.
All
collapse,
right,
collapse.
Git folder, GIT. I'm gonna hit enter on it.
Expanded.
It expands it. I'm gonna hit down arrow.
Git bash, comma. New.
So we hear git bash. So these are tools in this folder. So this is the command line tool.
Git cmd, comma. New. Git GUI.
And then the rest of the stuff we'll look through at a later time whenever we actually focus on just the command line itself. The goal is to get the command line up and running and then show you how to make sure Git is completely installed into the path, so you can make sure you can get to it from anywhere.
Git cmd, comma. Git bash, comma. New.
So I'm gonna go to git bash and hit enter.
C:\Windows /system32 /cmd.exe terminal.
So you'll
120 space blank. Keith Blackwelder at Windows Mingo 64
that's
tilde.
where you are.
$.
So now from this command line, what we can do here is we can type GIT space dash version
VERFION
and then hit enter.
Git version 2.25.1.windows.1.
And you should
Keith Blackwelder
hear
at Windows
the
Mingo
version.
64 tilde. $.
Now, if you thought you heard it or missed it, you can on the numpad with NVDA, you can hit 7 and it will go line by line up the terminal.
No intent Keith Blackwell 120 space blank. No intent Git version 2.25.1.windows.1.
So if I
$Git dash version.
So you hear that's what I typed. If I press 9, it'll go down a line.
GIT version 2.25.1.windows.1.
And you hear that's what I got. Okay, so this is going to wrap up this video. If you did not get the same results when you did this, please leave a comment and let me know, and I can try to help you solve it to get you up and running. Please stay tuned. The next video, like I said, will be installing Python, and then I will make sure um, maybe I'll go ahead and get started into the actual teaching of Python, and then along the way I'll create separate videos for going more in depth with things like the command line and Visual Studio Code and NVDA. So thank you for watching. If you liked it, please like. Like I said, if you have any comments, please let me know down below, and then um, subscribe if you're new or if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.
Download OBS notes.txt OBS sources window checkbox check controls window settings button studio mode check stop recording.